I went and checked out The Exorcism of God this last weekend. Yes, another film about demon possession. So what is it about this film that is different than the others? I mean the other more serious demon possession films. You know, like The Exorcist. Now, directed by Alejandro Hidalgo, who wastes no time by using cinematic shortcuts to get us in the mood. It was a dark and stormy night. One thing to note is that the film is both in English and Spanish with subtitles. The good news is that most of the film is in English. Now, a man in a truck, who we find out is a doctor, is driving frantically to a church in rural Mexico. In the darkness of the church, he runs into a priest, whom he pleads with to visit a woman who the doctor believes is possessed. Now, arriving at the house, the scene is eerily familiar. A lamppost in the fog as the priest enters the possessed woman's home. You know you've come to the right place. Inside the house, he gets on the phone and calls one of the church's expert exorcists, Father Michael Lewis, played by Joseph Marcel, you know, Jeffrey from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He tells the priest that he cannot come that quickly and that the younger priest is not ready to do the exorcism alone, that a tiny crack in his purity would lead to his damnation. Now, for those of you who are into the paranormal horror genre, you know what a possessed person looks like. You know, with Linda Blair makeup and the sounds and the filth of the diseased. Father Peter sets up a camera so he can tape record the exorcism. Then there's that deep demonic voice as the possessed woman breaks free and tries disgustingly to seduce the priest, Father Peter Williams, played by Will Beanbrick. You can see a glint of lust in his eyes, but he strengthens and begins the Roman ritual. You know, the power of Christ commands you. Then calling on the saints for help. You know the whole enchilada. The shouting, the demonic voice, and the priest completes the ritual. And the woman transforms back into herself, and the sores and the evil eyes are gone. The priest is tempted, and then a final shout out to heaven. No! Hi, I'm Rob, and this is A Constantly Racing Mind. 18 years later, Father Peter is seen helping out the poor orphanage somewhere in Mexico. Again, he is part of the community. He is looked up to by the villagers. His superior, Bishop Balducci, sees the man as a saint. However, Father Peter knows he isn't. He is not. See, Father Peter has a secret that torments the hell out of him. But instead of confessing his sin to the Monsignor, he is flattered but somewhat humbled that the Vatican thinks of him as a saint, which will open up doors to his poor rural community. The Monsignor offers the priest money for the orphanage on behalf of the church because of his good works. But alas, sickness has come to the children, and they need food, medical supplies, and money to keep the power on. The priest is in anguish, and at this point, the real creepy shit is starting to happen. Or is it? Gotta remember, guilt, or the concept of guilt, ingrained into us by our parents and society, messes with our minds. Plagued by nightmares, sleep paralysis, and visages of something very unsettling. In this case, the image of a demonic Christ haunts the priest. This is a strange film, and it's not all jump scares. Now, the warden of a prison for violent mental patients, well, in this case they are all women, calls the priest about a woman who they believe is possessed. The woman, Esperanza, is either wholly afflicted with mental illness or the devil has taken hold of her body. You decide. Now, the film does quite a bit in the second and third acts to turn the demonic possession genre on its head. It brings many things many people believe about the Catholic Church. No, not that part. If you're new here, we cover the film genres of sci-fi, horror, action-adventure, prop culture, and all things geek. So if you want more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be aware of all my new videos. As it turns out, the priest indeed raped the woman. She was, in fact, a nun at the orphanage where they served together. And the possessed woman at the mental institution today is her and Father Peter's daughter. Now, Father Peter's explanation for what happened was when the demon left Sister Magali, it entered him and he was possessed when he raped her. Now, it doesn't help that he watches the video of the exorcism and rape over and over on VHS. Once again, Father Michael is called to help with the exorcism, and this time he does come. Now, in this film, they both spoke about the Demon Balban, the spirit of delusion, otherwise known as the brute demon. Now, this demon stands at least 12 feet tall with a squat, pot-bellied body, massive arms, and thick, round legs. Its head resembles that of a trunkless and tuskless elephant. Now, 4 great backward curving horns sprout from his head behind his eyes. Its skin is slate gray with darker areas in the underneath and the back. Now, they both believe that the other to have vanquished the demon and prepared for the exorcism in the morning. Now, Father Peter confesses to Father Michael his sin and is forewarned that they must be immaculate. They both go to the prison along with the doctor to perform the exorcism. Very quickly, everything goes very wrong. First of all, one of the inmates stole the keys to their cells from one of the guards. There are about 3 inmates, Esperanza, Father Peter, Father Michael, and the good doctor as well included. Oh yes, and the demonic Jesus was half carrying and dragging the cross around the prison cell. In another subplot, one of the nuns who is watching over the sick children at the hospital is attacked by a demonic image of the Virgin Mary. Now, Joseph Marcel provides comic relief with lines like, "If I can make it to hell, I can make it to Mexico," or "I don't know if I should spray holy water or bleach." But as a confident a character that he plays as an avenging exorcist demon slayer, it turns out that he did, in fact, make a pact with a demon. Now, the priests are now on the defensive. Father Michael is killed, and Father Peter is left to take on the Balban Esperanza demon himself. He's captured by the demon and her cohorts. The traditional scenes of the Roman Catholic ritual of exorcism are turned around. Now, in this case, it's not so much that God is exorcised from the priest. It is Balban, who was in his daughter, now resides in him, Father Peter. The ending is chilling because what many people would like to believe about the Catholic Church is true. This is a strange film because it is unlike many demon possession films, which are pretty straightforward. They follow a formula: scenes of infestation, oppression, and finally possession. Now, this film does all of that and more. There are a few films, in my opinion, that turn the possession genre on its head. The Last Exorcism is one. Now, this is another. Check it out when you can, either in theater or on streaming when it gets there, and tell me what you think. Now, check out my other videos of film, cosplay, and film prop fun. Take care.